It's that time of year again for the annual Lehigh Valley Match Play Tournament. Last year, it was the Blazers taking it all over the Bruisers. Will another team rise to the top to claim victory this year? Stay tuned as Disc Golf Monthly starts now. Welcome to another edition of Disc Golf Monthly. We're in Erwinna, Pennsylvania for the 2013 Lehigh Valley Disc Golf Match Play Tournament. Hello everyone, I'm Carl Cubbage. I'm joined by fellow disc golfer, the legend in Delaware, Jimmy McIlvain. Jimmy, we're here at Tinicum Park playing match play, not stroke play. Tell us something about this event.
We're going to start off with 8 teams in the preliminary, and we're going to break it down to 4 teams in the semis, and then finally 2 teams in the finals.
And what is match play here for disc golf, Jim?
Match play is a little different. Instead of overall scoring, it's based on the winning of the hole. So no matter how many strokes you win by, you still only win by 1.
Well, that's a pretty exciting format. We've got 7 players per team, and when the preliminaries are over, the best teams, 4 teams move on to the semis, and then 2 in the finals. What's the strategy got to be there, Jimmy, for the players? Of stroke play, you've got to be careful with the strokes, but in match play, it's a totally different game.
Yeah, I mean, if you find yourself down on the hole, you have no reason not to go for it. The only time you might have to play safe is if you're looking at someone with a long putt, where you might be able to lay up, and they miss the putt, that may cause a push. I think you'll probably see that some when we're playing. Otherwise, you almost have to go for everything. I mean, there's no reason, one stroke is one stroke. It just doesn't matter. So,
well, that should be a pretty exciting format there. And before we cover the semifinals and the finals, folks, we're actually going to do highlights from each of those from the semis and the finals. Let's go down to the previous round highlights and see how they did during the preliminary rounds.
Brian Biggs playing on hole 17.
Team the Benjamins way up high, cutting in. Nice shot.
Link Morgan driving hole 15.
Team Bruisers, nice and flat. See some skip on that one.
Pete Gorey putting hole 17.
Team Blazers, solid putt.
Kyle Newton driving hole 1.
Team the Benjamins. Well, that thing's starting to flex back. Just off the fairway.
Matt LaCourte putting hole 15.
Team Extinguishers. Matt puts it in there.
Chris Frederick driving hole 16.
Team Inbounds. Coming down for the skip. Ooh, landed near the basket.
Dan Swede putting hole 8.
Team Bruisers. Oh, off the rim, but it stays in there.
Matt LaCourte driving hole 17.
Team Extinguishers. Matt, look at that thing go. You got some wind bumps. It's carrying. Rolls away.
Whoa. Nick Weiler playing hole 8.
Team Underdog. Woo, that one's in there. Zings it in.
Pat Bukowski driving hole 6.
Pat's hat falls off on that drive, but he sends it down the fairway.
Dustin Leatherman putting hole 10.
Ooh, Dustin pops it off the rim into the chains.
Brian Biggs driving hole 8.
Team the Benjamins. This is a short hole, just a nice, easy throw there, and puts it right near the basket.
Pete Polt putting hole 10.
Pete, nice one.
Josh Hughes driving hole 10.
Josh cranks that one up. Sends it down, going right for the basket. He'll have a good look.
Kevin Lebowski putting hole 10.
Team Seabiscuits. Woo, that was a zinger.
Kyle Newton driving hole 12.
Team the Benjamins. You can hear the wind howling, but that thing's moving down the fairway. Up, moving close to the canal.
Andrew Hendry, putting hole 11.
Team Blazers puts it right in the middle of the chains.
Chris Frederick driving hole 12.
Team Inbounds. On a hole you really need to stay inbounds. And he does.
Chris Frederick, birdie putt, hole 12.
Can it? Ooh, solid right over the rim and in.
Steve Bro, driving hole 12.
Team Bruisers. That one's right near the path. Have a good look.
Andy DeFranzo, putting hole 12.
Team the Benjamins. Look at that. Andy cans that one.
Justin Searsma, driving hole 12.
Team Underdog. Big rip going from right to left. He's got the big skip, and that one is in the drink, out of bounds.
Sean Healy, driving hole 2.
Team Blazers. Heavy wind. There's a big skip there, and that's it for the previous round highlights. Jimmy, that was a great previous round highlights. The wind was howling, and you certainly got to be careful near the canals. The water certainly could get wet.
Yeah, you saw a couple discs get really close to the water there on hole 12.
And the putting was fantastic. Some long shots there.
Yeah, I mean, in this whole match play thing, you have to go for the longer putt. So, yeah, you can see some dramatic things out there.
Well, that's a taste of what's to come. Who are the 4 teams that made it into the semifinals that we're going to follow the highlights of?
We're going to have a little bit different format this time. We're going to have team versus team. Of the 4 teams, 2 will be playing against each other. The Blazers will be playing against the Extinguishers, and the Benjamins will be playing versus the Bruisers.
Very good. Well, we're going to take a quick break, Jimmy, and we'll see how they fare and who's going to make it into the finals. Please stay with us, folks, after a short break. Welcome back, folks. We're here on Basket 10 8-pin par 3, 309 feet as we start the highlights for the semifinals. Who do we got playing here, Jimmy?
It's going to be Aaron Fahey is going to be playing against Steve Bro.
All right, Benjamins versus the Bruisers. We've also got the Extinguishers versus the Blazers, Justin Medore and Andrew Hendry. Pretty windy conditions. Heading back towards the basket.
Nice
good look there. Caught an early tree there, Jimmy. Tough break.
This leads into that whole match play thing where now you have to be looking at just getting it down there safely right now.
Here's the time not to make a mistake. Your competitor hit an early tree. You just float one down there.
And that's beautiful.
Yeah, if he made that birdie putt, then he's got the hole.
Yep.
Unless Justin can this long one. Wow, gave it a good run. Aaron's second shot. Slides one right there to the pole.
Yeah, sometimes you have to play it like that, though. If you can get that close, you put pressure on like Steve's putt here.
Absolutely.
Even though Steve should be making this, it's still pressure. And there it is.
And
nice
he
putt.
makes it. Great form there.
Now Andrew needs this for the win. And there you
Great
go.
focus, puts it right in, dead center. Well, there we go. The Benjamins lost that hole to the Bruisers, and Extinguishers lost to the Blazers. We're following the #1 seed players for those teams. We're on to basket 9, C-pin, par 3, 270 feet.
Okay, these are the 2 seeds, and we're going to be covering Matt Laporte for the Extinguishers, playing versus Mike Carmen of the Blazers. Be the first 2 up.
Matt sends it nice and high. This is a great hole to play. I love playing this hole. You've got a straight route at it, but it's nice to send it way up there and cut it back. There's the Annie route, and that stays.
And now we're going to have Link Morgan from the Bruisers playing Andy DeFranzo from the Benjamins.
There's that conventional high hyzer cut shot on this hole. Looks like he caught a tree.
Yeah.
Andy hit a tree as well. Stays off in the wood line.
Got the easy 3 though. Puts a little pressure on Link to get it down there.
Link hits the top of the number sign. That was a great approach.
Now the pressure's back on Andy.
Yeah, he's got to really stretch around to try to get it around the tree. Good view of Mike from the Blazers here on his second throw.
Yep. Now Matt can win the hole with this putt here. Oh, left it low.
Tough break on the rim for Matt. Link Morgan, nice putt. All right, well, we've got pushes. Basically, they tied, folks, so there's no win or loss on that hole.
You can see it, this is a totally different game.
It is. As we move on to basket 8, C-pin, par 3, 208 feet. We've got the canal behind the basket, which makes this something you got to think about on your throw.
So we're gonna first up, we're gonna have Dan Swede from the Bruisers.
Dan hits an early tree.
Versus Brian Biggs from the Benjamins.
Well, another tree.
And we're going to have Dustin Leatherman from the Extinguishers.
Throws a good cut.
Nice shot.
Skips. There it is, right at the basket.
Versus Pete Gorey from the Blazers.
Sends a high cut shot in. He's right there as well.
You can see where that first drive, though, really puts the pressure on your opponent.
Absolutely.
There. Okay, Dan can win the hole here.
And he misses right of the basket. Oh, there's a tough break right there.
Now Dan can still win the hole. Now
can you believe both of those putts missed? It's going to be a 4 for the push. There's a solid putt. He's happy that went in. Well, we've got pushes for both teams on that one.
Yeah, not only is this a different format, this can be a little bit more fun, too.
Absolutely. Okay, we're moving on to basket 7, a D-pin, par 4, 493 feet.
Okay, we're going to have Johnny McCaffrey from the Extinguishers, and he'll be playing against Brian Barber of the Blazers.
An early tree. This is a very wooded hole as you come transition from out in the open area back into the woods.
And then we're going to have Jesse Roan from the Bruisers, and he will be playing against Scott Greenwald from the Benjamins.
There's There's another early shot. I've hit many of those trees. There's a forehand shot here. Sends it down the gap, cutting to the left.
Okay,
amazingly, that hit nothing, and I think went into that farmer's field off to the left.
This actually plays the opposite of what happened earlier, where by making the good shot first, you put pressure on. Now the bad shot allows you to play a little bit more relaxed.
Knock, knock.
Yeah, well, okay, Scott's finally getting to throw his second shot.
Well, that caught a little deflection.
This hole can be brutal.
All right, cleared the last of the trees there. A little too far to the left. Wow, he went high and caught the tree.
Yeah, but I think he needed that. I think that's what I mean. This gets to a point where it doesn't even matter. You know, if
off the number sign.
You got to do everything to make that shot. That's be a win for Brian.
Just over the rim, but it slides into the chains, and that one's in there.
And we can just pick up and walk away.
All right, so we've got a win for the Blazers and also a win for the Benjamins on that hole. All right, basket 11 is a B-pin par 3, 401 feet.
Okay, we're going to have Dan Janowski from the Benjamins playing against Alex Caldwell from the Bruisers.
Throws it nice and low. Got a ways to go there. Goes for the roller. That had a funny hit and just kind of kicked back.
Yeah, it looks wooded at Tinicum, but if you never play, I mean, the wind, when it starts blowing here, it can be brutal coming off those fields.
That's usually the conventional shot there.
Okay, we're going to have Johnny Blaze from the Blazers and Andrew Phillips from the Extinguishers.
Let's see if Alex can get his second throw down. He's going with a forehand. Gets a little bit of a skip, but he's still got a ways to go. All right, Dan puts it right up there. Up, the wind caught that a little bit. Then the tree caught it. Alex puts the forehand right there on the wood chips around the basket.
Yep, Dan can win this with his putt here.
See if he's got it. Oh, looks like the wind took that right up to the upper part of the basket. Well, we've got a push on the Benjamins and Bruisers, but a win for the Blazers.
One of the other things interesting about this whole layout is that you're no longer playing the course as much as you're playing your opponent.
Basket 15 B-pin, par 3, 495 feet.
Okay, we're going to have Josh Hughes from the Bruisers playing against Kyle Newton from the Benjamins.
Good low throw. We're going to get some skip there. High skip.
Nice shot.
Nicely done. Kyle keeps his low, but he's got a little wind bump, but he should see a skip there as well.
And we're going to have Sean Healy from the Blazers versus Pat Lachowski from the Extinguishers.
That one goes up high and gets caught up in the branches. All right, that one ends up down the right side. Sean sends that one up high and gets caught in the tree. Jimmy, if you get that low shot that skips out to the opening, then you've got a good look here on your second shot.
Yeah, the thing I found about this hole, though, is if you don't play here a lot, it's hard to judge the distance on this hole for some reason, that second shot. Yeah.
And Jimmy, this is one of those disc golf courses that has multiple positions for the basket to be placed.
Yes, there's some really seriously longer holes on some of these positions.
Nice shot there.
Yeah, Sean needs to park this to put any pressure on.
All right, nicely done. Look at Pat's putt.
This is for the win.
Goes really high and cuts it in there. That was a bomb from above. Nice shot. Well, folks, we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we're going to see the final round highlights. Please stay with us.
Hi, I'm Brian Schwarberger, and you're watching Disc Golf Monthly, the show that brings you one step closer to the sport of disc golf.
Neurofibromatosis.
Neurofibromatosis. What?
Neurofibromatosis, or NF, is a genetic disorder that causes tumors to grow anywhere on or in the body. It can lead to blindness, deafness, loss of limbs, brain tumors, and severe disfigurement.
Neurofibromatosis.
Let me make it easy for you. Children's Tumor Foundation. The Children's Tumor Foundation, dedicated to ending neurofibromatosis through research. Let's all start saying it.
Children's Tumor Foundation.
All right, we're back, folks. Basket 16 B pin, par 3, 335 feet.
Okay, it's going to be Sean Healy from the Blazers versus Josh Hughes from the Bruisers. We're down to the final two teams.
Gets caught up in the branches. There's a low shot there. Picks up a little bit. That's nice to watch. A little skip at the end. Not too far away.
And we're going to have Dan Swede from the Bruisers versus Pete Gorey from the Blazers.
Another high shot there, and it looks like it got caught up in the branches too. You got to watch not to throw them too high around the trees here.
Yeah, everyone thinks Tinicum is so wide open, and it's got a reputation for that. But you know, there's enough wooded holes, you know, to make you have to play both.
Wow, that was a good run there. Dan's second shot. He's got, no, it's not bad, not bad there. These can get away from me in this wind. And that one stays down.
Okay, this is for Josh for the win.
Blows by, does not hit metal on that one.
Pete for the win.
Wow, Pete goes a little bit high as well. A little frustration there. he
Nice
cans
putt.
that one.
Okay, it's going to be Josh for the tie. No.
A little too aggressive just to flex off the chains.
Now Pete for the tie.
Another disc
Wow.
off the chains. You can see the wind's a factor, Jimmy.
Okay, the two big. If Dan makes this, then the two big drives actually lost the hole. The guys with the birdie putts lost. That's what I was telling you. This is not about playing the course as much as the person. You
Well,
have to.
the Blazers and Bruisers do pick up a hole on that one against their opponents. And we've got basket 11, B pin, par 3, 401 feet.
Okay, it's going to be Johnny Blaze from the Blazers versus Alex Caldwell from the Bruisers.
Roller cuts away a little bit.
If there's any wind out here, this hole is tough to get to. You watch guys trying to throw the roller and everything else.
Well, it may not be readily apparent from the view that we have here, but when you're standing at that tee and you see the trees out there, you don't have a lot of options.
Okay, it's going to be Jesse Round from the Bruisers. And he went down with a roller.
Got it up a little too quick.
Versus Brian Barber from the Blazers. Going with the lefty love.
Brings it around.
Yeah, I think you can get that big Anheuser, that big lefty hyzer. You almost need some wind pushing you over. It's a big hole that way.
All right, puts that one close. It's not a bad spot to be in right there.
Get down.
Now the wind caught that and just sent it flying to the right. An overhand throw. Look at that, valet parking.
Okay, now if Alex can drain this, he'll have the win.
Be a big putt in this wind. He goes up high.
Now Brian will probably need this. I think Jesse's part. Big
That one's
putt.
in there. Nice putt. Jesse finishes up. Okay, well, we've got pushes all around there. Okay, folks, basket 14 is the C pin, par 4, 440 feet.
Okay, we get to see the women this time. It's going to be Cheryl Frederick from the Blazers versus Carly Bray from the Bruisers.
Cheryl put it in the wood pile there in the woods. She's got a little work there. Yeah, I did not see where that one hit, but we'll pick it up with Carly on her second throw.
I think all these trees came down this past winter during a big storm there.
Cheryl gets the forehand down and gets out of the wood lines, goes a little bit to the left.
Actually, I think it was Sandy that brought those trees down, actually.
Let's see what Carly's got.
Get it down.
That wind picked that one up into the tree. That was a little frustration there.
Okay, this is Cheryl for the win.
Just dips down to the left. And that one dips to the right.
You want to get me? I don't think it matters.
Well, Cheryl took that one for the Blazers. Basket 8 is a C pin, par 3, 208 feet.
Okay, we're going to see the 1 seeds. Steep Row of the Bruisers versus Andrew Henry from the Blazers.
Steve with a nice light touch on that one. Ends up a little bit short. I always like a skip shot on this one. Well, Steve's certainly under pressure to start winning some of these holes to keep it going there, Jimmy. Nice putt there. All right, let's see if he can do that.
Nice putt from both of them. That's a tough putt on a 208-foot hole.
It certainly is, yeah.
Just like, I should be parked, and you end up walking up there to that putt.
All right, we got a push there from the Bruisers and the Blazers. We'll see them again, folks, but we're now on basket 9, which is a C pin, par 3, 270 feet. Steve has got to win this hole to keep the match going.
Come on.
Didn't do anything.
Talking to it, but apparently it didn't do anything. It's the comment on the course. See what Andrew's got.
I think Lake's trying to jinx you there. Just a little voodoo.
Outside. Yes.
See, now, unlike stroke play, you're allowed to do that to your opponent in match play. Your team's allowed to come over and throw the voodoo hex on somebody.
Working them. All right, that one's close. Be nice if Steve could can this putt right here. He needs it. A tough straddle putt.
Get in. Ah! Nice back.
Andrew's in.
And that, I believe, gives Andrew the win there.
And that would be it as they congratulate each other on the match.
And that was a push, even though that he had won the match, though. That is where this becomes a little bit different.
Okay, moving on to hole 17. 8-pin par 3, 350 feet.
And this is going to be Jesse Roan from the Bruisers versus Brian Barber of the Blazers.
Low shot there. It gets down on the ground a little bit too early. Brian's really in a good position here after that drive to send one out there. He goes high. Getting a nice bump back. All right, he's got a better look. Jesse, that drifted away to the right on him.
Yeah. This is where Brian can just lay this up and force the big putt.
Just
But
get
he
it
goes
close.
for it.
Gets
Okay,
the drop
yeah.
in 3, and now the
Yeah.
pressure's really on this putt right here. And Jesse goes right over the top. The wind just took it right over the number plate.
And they can just pick up now. Yeah.
They're congratulating each other on the match. Well, you can see that Brian took that one for the Blazers. Well, the Blazers win that, folks. Please stay with us. We will be right back to wrap it up. Well, Jimmy, that was a great match. The Blazers took it to the Bruisers on that one.
Yeah, this was sort of a runaway in the match. I think they won everything but one match.
Well, who's the winning players there, Jimmy? Can you let us know who?
Sure. Andrew Hendry was the number 1 seed, and Mike Carmen was the number 2 seed. Sean Healy was the number 3 seed, and Peter Gorey was the number 4 seed. Johnny Blaze, number 5. Brian Barber was the 6th seed, and Cheryl Frederick was the 1.
Well, congrats to all the players on the winning team and for everybody that competed in the event. Match play's a lot of fun if you haven't done it before, and if you've never played Tinicum Park, you certainly need to get out there and play it. We'd like to thank all the volunteers and tournament staff for all they do, and for all the folks that give us the positive comments. I see a lot of people out on the courses, and they're always happy to see the next episode of Disc Golf Monthly. Appreciate all of the feedback that we get. Well, that's all we have for this month's edition of Disc Golf Monthly. I'm Carl Cubbage with the legend in Delaware, Jimmy McIlvaine. This is Disc Golf Monthly, the show that takes you one step closer to the sport of disc golf.
Pretty sure Matt knows how match play works. But match play, you're pretty much...
What hole am I starting on?
I don't know. I'll tell you later. But you're playing for a hole. Each hole's worth a point. Points don't carry over for hole. So if you start on hole 1, you 3 it, and your opponent 4s it, you're up 1.